The Monday, June 17th meeting of the Monona City Council. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Alder Wood.
Here.
Alder Crewer.
Here.
Alder Thomas.
Here.
Alder Groupie.
Here.
Alder Moore.
Here.
Alder Kitzler.
Here.
Mayor O'Connor.
Here. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Is there a motion to approve the minutes from June 3rd?
Move approval.
Second.
Any corrections or additions? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes are approved. We have an appearance tonight, Eric Redding of the Monona Community Festival, to discuss the upcoming festival on July 3rd and 4th. Welcome, Eric.
Thank you for having me. So for the folks at home, I'm Eric Redding, the new festival, the new president of the festival. Just wanted to touch base with you folks and kind of let you know what we're doing and kind of some of the things we're changing this year. Kind of one of the bigger changes we're making this year is with our food. For the last couple of years, called Tavern had been doing all of our food, providing it for us. And this year we're actually having VFW, the local post on Cottage Grove Road. We'll be coming in and kind of doing basics, sort of brats, hot dogs, hamburgers, veggie broth, and there, things like that, kind of the basic stuff. And then the other options that we've got out there, we're going to have 11 different food carts that will be out and about on the 3rd and the 4th, so kind of give people some variety. So not only just your standard food, you will have a little bit of everything coming out there as well. It's still working? You're just a very tall fellow. No, I think I would know better after filming these for so many years. So aside from the different food options, the other thing we're doing with the food is the VFW is we're splitting basically the proceeds to kind of give back to a worthy cause. We're actually also having all the wives from the police officers are going to be helping out on the evening of the 3rd, and so all the proceeds that are donated during that evening are going to go to the Canine Fund as well. So we're trying to change it up a little bit to kind of be able to do more, to give back more to the community, both in terms of the VFW and we have all new music this year. It's a whole new lineup. The evening of the 3rd, we have the similar type of thing with a happy hour. We have actually a dueling piano coming in from Milwaukee areas. We're doing some good music. And we've got Retrospect, which is a local band who will be performing. And then we've got a couple different, the kids of Wisconsin, unfortunately, we have some conflicts in schedule. They're always having to run over from Milwaukee and then come back here. So this year, instead of having them, we've got a panchromatic steel band, which is a steel drum and a bunch of other sort of horns and everything. Actually, we just got a chance to see them a few months ago, and they're pretty good. So this should be pretty fun. We have a wheelhouse in the afternoon, and then it's Angels and Outlaws that are headlining on the 4th. So a lot of the same activities that we've got going on. The art fair is obviously still going on. We'll have the wife carry the keg toss. A couple other changes. We're swapping where the firefighting stuff has always gone over on Nichols. We've got they want to use the tennis parking lot for like the water fights. We're moving that over onto Healy Lane, and the car show that was there is coming over to Nichols. So we're swapping a couple little things just to make it easier for folks to get around. So the kids in the bike parade aren't having to go all the way over and around. We're having just on Healy from one side of Healy to the other. Keep everything right there in the front of the festival. So other things new this year. For the beer tent, one of the things that myself and then John Lockwood, who's running the beer tent, one of the things that we were concerned about, but we wanted to improve this year is making sure there's not underage drinking. We have a better handle on what's going on in the beer tent. So this year, we're actually having everyone that's over the age of 21 have to require them to wear wristbands. And then after 7 o'clock at night, anyone over the age of 21 will not be allowed in the beer tent regardless. And anyone that is there will be asked to leave. We're not going to go through a line of police or anything like that, but we'll discreetly ask people to head out. Really hoping that just cuts down on any sort of bad actors that may be around. So those are kind of some of the bigger things, except the other thing we're doing is changing the layout of the festival. So it's been several years. One of the guys throw this up on the screen it's working. Just delay it. It takes a second.
Do we have to turn something
Right.
on?
No, it's on. Yeah, hey guys, you wanna?
He would know.
Yeah, I thought there's some, oh,
You were right.
Let's go now.
Oh, it's up,
You got
it's
it.
up.
Oh, hey, there it is. There we go.
oh, it's not on this screen for some
Yeah.
reason. What that's about.
We wanted to keep looking at Eric, apparently.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
it's.
There we
Up
go.
there.
Oh, there it is, okay.
So, I make it a little bit, look, the light makes it better or worse, but it matters either way. So, what you can see right there is we're essentially shifting the beer tent 90 degrees. That's the big blue tent. So instead of it going the same way it's been going forever, we're rotating at 90 degrees, and we're going to put the stage where that black bar is in the background. That's essentially going to be, that's going to be essentially a little bit nicer for the, basically the stage. Where it's always been has been kind of slowly falling into the muck and the park that's down there. So a little bit nicer of an area. The kind of red large box towards the bottom of this guy here is the actual food seating tent. So instead of it always being kind of tucked away back to the side of the festival and kind of awkward to get to, we're basically moving it right to the front. So it's going to be a lot easier for folks to go in, sit, eat, and kind of have a nice spot overlooking the lagoon for the entire festival. The other tent that's to the south of it there is where we're going to be serving all of our food out of. And then other than that, the festival grounds pretty much stays the same, nothing else really changes. The other big difference you will notice is traditionally we always had that wonderful row of porta potties that always lined the front entrance of the festival. We're actually changing that this year, so we're dispersing the porta potties around the park. We've got some that'll be kind of tucked back over here so people will still be able to get to it in the beer garden, but then we'll have, you know, over here by the gazebo, over here by the shelter, and kind of over in the front as well. So not really changing a whole lot, but it is a little bit different than what folks maybe are used to in the past. So a little bit different. We are publicizing this to let people know. You know, a little, I'm sure, surprise a couple folks, but it'll be hopefully an improvement for the festival and the flow and the kind of look of how everything operates. So the other thing that I wanted to mention to you folks is, you know, one of the things that is the prime goal for the festival is to give back to the community. And part of that is, you know, putting on one of the largest and I think one of the biggest events for Monona every year, you know, aside from the Memorial Day Parade. Those are probably those are the two biggest ones. But we also want to make sure we give back to the city, most specifically in terms of contributions. And we really couldn't do this without the city's support from public works, police, fire, admin, everyone across the board, parks. You know, everyone helps out with this festival. It's really what's, you know, made us successful. We've seen other, you know, community festivals maybe not succeed or completely go away. I routinely get asked from the communities, you know, what's so special about Monona. It's the buy-in we have from the city. So thank you so much for your support. But we want to make sure we're also giving back as well. Historically, we've done that, and so we're basically implementing a plan. We'll bring it out in the next couple of months, probably after the festival. Let's get through that, and then we'll come up with the plans of how it's going to work. But essentially, we're setting up a fund within our budget every year that is going to be open to city departments. So any department that has a project that they may need an extra couple bucks on, or needs to pool in or to go to a certain thing, they can come to us, give us a proposal, what it's going to be used for, and then we'll choose to divvy that money or not. We've kind of tested that initially. We had Jake Anderson reach out to us about funding for the deck that's going out there. So he asked about that, and we initially approved that. So that's one of the projects. And then I was talking with city folks a few weeks ago. We were talking about some of the projects, and they've already got some ideas of what they're saying this can go to. So we're glad to be able to try and get back to the city a little bit. Since it's been a couple of years since we've been able to do that. So I just do a lot of information at you in the last 4 minutes. So any questions that you guys have about what we're doing or any changes that I talked about?
Anybody? Nancy?
Yeah, Eric, thank you. Great festival. I'm wondering if, I know that you have traditionally had a arrangement with Scouts, I believe it is, around the recyclables. but I'm wondering if there's something that we might do to reduce specifically the plastic, use of plastic water bottles, because the volume that's generated over the course of, even though they're recycled, you know, cutting down on plastics is a really important thing, and I'm just wondering if there's been any discussion on how we might be able to curb that.
One of the early conversations I had with Jake Anderson was about, I think the city's got a water wagon or something like that, and so I've been talking with him. We still need to figure out some of the logistics, but the idea would be to have that down at the festival, so if folks, you know, want to fill up their water bottle. You know, so many people are coming down to bike in and whatnot. You know, if they've got that there, even walking down, hopefully that'll get people to use that, so they're not you know, having to get water bottles. You know, obviously it is the water bottle sales is a piece of what, you know, goes into our overall revenue, but it's not something that, you know, by not selling some water bottles, it's not going to break the bank for what we're trying to do. So yeah, that's a great point. We're definitely trying to always do things that, you know, make sure that we're being environmentally friendly, both in terms of, you know, what we're selling, but, you know, the recycling, everything like that. We want to make sure we're good stewards of the park.
Okay, great, thank you.
Anyone else? Alder Groupie.
Eric, thank you so much. I think everything sounds great. I'm excited about the changes. Polite request to change the name of the wife carry competition.
Yeah.
That's a bit over here.
So this is it's been something that we've debated for quite a while. You know, it's the name wife carry comes from the international, you know, obviously the competition, and we state it in all of our rules, and we're trying to promote it, but obviously it's not about a wife. It's just that's the brand name essentially of it. One of the things that in our conversations, we actually are part of essentially a circuit. So if you win our championship, you're allowed to go to the North American Championship, and then from there you can go to the World Championship in Finland. You didn't realize there was a circuit for the wife carry, but there is. And so one of the conversations we've been having with them is, if we make a name change, do we lose the ability to have, you know, that kind of you know, connection to the official association? So what we're really trying to do is make sure that, you know, talk with them as well. Let's then know that, like, hey, this is not, you know, this is also 2019. You know, this is a different world that we're living in when this was first, you know, founded. You know, is there a way that we could look at maybe rebranding or something like that? So definitely something we're aware of, and it's been something that I've had to think about for many years running the web carry. So
Thank you.
yeah.
Alder Thomas.
Are you still looking for volunteers? And I saw a posting that you had that you were looking for volunteers, particularly for the veterans, for the food. So make a pitch.
Yes, please. And this is, I'm hoping that all of you will run out. You all have your computers in front of you. You can sign up right now. It's all web-based. But we do. We always are going to need more volunteers. You know, obviously everyone looks for the bartending. I think it's the fun thing. There's a lot of other stuff out there. You know, with the VFW, they do need a hand. Some of these veterans are obviously not as young as some of the rest of us. So being able to give them a hand would be great. And so,
how do we sign up?
Yeah, so if you go to mononafestival.com, there's a volunteer tab up at the top. You can go to that, and it takes you to a form where you can sign up for. There's bartending shift, there's ticket selling shifts, both at the bar and the food tent. There's food helpers that can help. Doesn't need to be necessarily cooking, but, you know, running or taking tickets. All of the food vending stuff is not, the actual dispersing of the food is all through ticket-based system. So if you're handing out, you know, brats and hot dogs, you don't have to worry about dealing with change or anything like that. We're trying to make it as easy as possible for those folks.
So if you're getting, I mean, I'd be happy to help, but I won't be in town. But if you are getting hard up, I would consider asking, like, the rec department and the library to blast their.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I can reach out to Jake and see if they can, you know, get some more volunteers for us.
They can do a blast on to all of their people.
Sure, no, that's a good idea. Thank you. And the rest of you, if you're around, I would be more than happy to see you guys down on either the 3rd or the 4th. The 4th, we can always use extra hands. So.
Are you putting something on WVMO?
Yes, I would originally scheduled to get together with Will last Thursday, but we had some scheduling conflicts, so we're looking at this week to get together to put a bunch of promos together to get that up there.
But it'd be great to do the asking for volunteers on there too, as a separate thing. Brian, did you? Anybody else? Well, thank you for coming and updating us, and good luck.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And next time, I hope to see you all down there. And if anyone has any questions in the meantime, you can just contact us through the, if you don't all have my email address, you can contact us through the festival contact page.
Okay,
Great.
thanks.
Enjoy the rest of the meeting.
Thank you. There is no public hearing. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Consent agenda is approved. Unfinished business, and item 1A, consideration of resolution 19-6-2358, reauthorizing CDA Renew Monona Housing Stock Renewal Loan Program, and this is put forth by the Community Development Authority. Is there a motion to approve this?
Move to approve.
Second.
Okay, Brian?
I kind of gave the outline of it at the last meeting. I'll answer any questions that you might have on the program. It's pretty straightforward. The memo I put in your packet lays out kind of what's changed from the previous iteration to the current iteration, and we will be putting together our marketing materials here once this is approved tonight, assuming it's approved.
Questions, anyone? Alder Corp?
Can the council get copies of those marketing materials?
Absolutely.
I have some people that I already know are interested.
I have a list as well.
Thanks.
Anybody else? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Renew Monona is approved. Next item B, consideration of resolution 19-6-2359, authorizing a request for proposals, RFP, for contracted assessment services, also put forth by the city administrator. Is there a motion to approve
Move
this?
approval.
Second.
Brian?
I did get one correction from Alder Groupie, that I just a grammatical change that I made on number 21 under hours, but other than that, it's pretty straightforward. And again, it allows us to go out to see what's out there for contracted assessment services for the next 4 years. Take any questions that you might have.
Hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. I'm debating about going into closed session now or moving it to the end, which will not be very long. I guess we could just do it now if it's going to be fast. Convene in closed session under Wisconsin statute section 19.85, paren 1, paren E, deliberating or negotiating the purchase of public properties, the investing of public funds, or conducting other specified public business whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session. This is regarding the Yahara Commons Development Agreement. Is there a motion to go into closed session?
Second.
Will the clerk please call the roll?
Alder Kitzler.
Aye.
Alder Wood.
Aye.
Alder Core.
Aye.
Alder Thomas.
Aye.
Alder Groupie.
Aye.
Alder Moore.
All right, we are in closed session. Okay, we are back in open session. So is there a motion to approve payment of Amendment 1 to the developers agreement in the amount of $655,121, subject to a waiver that will be drafted by the city attorney?
So move.
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Or Joan, do we have to?
We should
need
do a
roll
close,
call?
or yeah, roll call.
Sorry, would you please call the roll?
Alder Moore.
Yes.
Alder Kitzler.
Aye.
Alder Wood.
Aye.
Alder Core.
Aye.
Alder Thomas.
Aye.
Alder Groupie.
Aye.
Motion is approved. Thank you, Mr. Stolper. Good night. We'll move on to new business, item 2A, and this is started for immediate approval. Consideration of ordinance 6-19-718 relating to right-of-way permits put forth by the Public Works Committee. Is there a motion to take this out of order?
Move to take this item out of order.
A second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Move to
Opposed?
approve.
Okay, well,
Oops, sorry.
that's okay.
Move
Is there
to
a
approve.
A second.
Okay. Who's explaining? Are you going to explain this?
This is a housekeeping item, just kind of giving us some clarity and some empowerment to address situations in which people are doing work in the right-of-way without a permit. It allows us to do some enforcement and issue stop work orders, and also sets up a fee schedule for those that would be conducting violations without a permit. Staff is supportive of this ordinance, as is the Public Works Committee, and we recommend approval this evening.
Questions? Okay, hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Second item under new business is consideration of Resolution 19-6-2360, approving a memorandum of understanding, MOU, for use and cost sharing between the City of Monona and the Monona Public Library. The City Administrator.
Thank you. This MOU is really just set up to kind of codify some of the things that have been past practice between the library and the city for a number of years. Just outlining some of the cost shares that we have baked into our budgeting process with things that we pay for versus things that they pay for. And then also, more importantly, our use of certain rooms within the library for city meetings. This agreement just kind of puts that down on paper so both parties understand that. In particular, we have access to this room, the municipal room, for city meetings. And then in the case of use of the boardroom, we have kind of exclusive rights to that if we ever need to use the room. And for the library forum room, if we do need to use that room, typically it's only about once or twice a year. We just need to coordinate with the library director on scheduling that. Other than that, I'll take any questions that you might have on it.
Anyone? Okay. All right, we will move on to reports of committees and commissions, et cetera. Start with Alder Wood.
No report other than that License Review Committee, Jim Flasterer submitted at least his oral resignation from the committee effective as of the end of the June meeting because they're in the process of moving to McFarland.
Okay, Alder Cord.
The Landmarks Commission has tentatively scheduled the Monona Mound rededication for August 17th, with a backup date being the 24th. This council will receive formal invitations, but you can pencil it in on your calendar.
Okay. Alder Thomas.
Sorry, Alder Core, do you have a time frame on that?
We do not have a specific time yet.
Okay.
I don't have a report, but I have a question. I've had a couple of people ask me about the grass down at Southtown, particularly in the Shopko area, and who is responsible for mowing that because it's getting tacky looking. That's my term.
Yeah, we've reached out to the property owners that would be responsible for that to let them know that issue.
And if they don't do anything about it, will we do it and charge them?
Yeah.
Okay. And then I have one other question for the mayor and the administrator. Do we have, since we have public safety next the 26th, and I think they're going to bring the capital budget items before us, are there directions that have been given out to staff relative to the budgets?
Yes.
And will they tell us those, or will you tell us those?
But we can.
Yeah.
Generally speaking, and the mayor can correct me, we've asked staff to keep kind of the overall capital limit. We'd like to keep it about $2 million for this upcoming budget cycle, just so we can retain some capacity as we kind of plan in the future for a public service facility. I don't know if there's anything more specific than that.
I don't think so. It's due to we'd like it to go through two meetings of the committee, and it's due to mark the first week of August, the capital budget.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Alder Groupie.
The Senior Citizens Committee is tentatively scheduled to meet next Thursday the 27th, at 4 p.m., just in case anyone cares to attend.
Okay. Alder Moore.
The Sustainability Committee, in partnership with Renew Wisconsin, is hosting its second information session regarding the program Maddie Sun, which is solar group buy available to Monona residents and businesses on June 25th from 6 to 7 p.m. in the library.
Alder Kitzler.
So Tourism Commission is going to be meeting in August. The date is yet to been picked yet. And then Parks and Rec had a good discussion on the redesign or kind of rethinking, renovation, whatever you want to call it, of Stonebridge. We had a good conversation there, which will then play out in the capital budget. So we had good kind of neighborhood discussion and attendance for that discussion.
City Clerk.
Board of Review was one hearing of somebody who came in And otherwise, the cases were all solved prior to having to come to Board of Review. Liquor licenses are all out, still waiting for 2 businesses to finalize their payments. And then their licenses are all done and ready to go.
City Attorney Cole, do you have anything?
I do. Our city administrator made the municipality magazine.
You make it sound bigger than it is.
He's available to sign your copies if you'd like.
Just my name.
That's all.
Right.
Yeah, thank you. Just 2 quick things. One, assuming that we have no emergency need for a city council meeting, we'll be canceling the July 1st city council meeting. So I'll confirm that as we get a little bit closer to that date with the council. And then second, I sent around for those staff members that participated in the tabletop exercise on the flood events from 2018, kind of our lessons learned and kind of next action steps summary. Staff is going to take a look at that, provide me with any feedback, and then I'll make that document available to the council members so you can see that as well. So I'll let you know when that's available.
Okay. And I think this morning, did you do the operating budget instructions to
We
staff?
did, yeah, we did talk a little bit about that. this
Yeah.
morning, yep.
So I think we'd like to have the operating budgets to mark by the beginning of September. He's going to be giving, as usual, kind of fills in some of the budget numbers in terms of what we're using for an estimate for health insurance and salary increases and that kind of thing. And it is going to be very, very tight this year. For one thing, we have a lot of people who are switching either from no health coverage to full coverage or from single coverage to family coverage, and that's a lot. So just so you're aware ahead of time. I guess I don't have anything else. Alder Thomas?
Oh, I forgot to mention, I will be out of the city on vacation from June 18th until,
Like tomorrow?
no, June 28th until January 8th, or till July 18th.
Okay. Well, have a great time.
I'm going to try.
Okay, and then other than that, I guess everybody who is in town, obviously, if you'd like to volunteer at the festival, sounds like they need some help, and if you can't volunteer but still are able to come over and spend some money, that's great too. So I don't think I have anything else right now. So is there, actually, we have 2 appointments. Diane Steele to the Zoning Board of Appeals, effective immediately through April 2022, and Joe Forward to the License Review Committee, effective immediately to April 2021. So is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
these?
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Appointments are approved. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
All right.
Aye.
Opposed? We are adjourned.